What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Three Stars Raw. I am down south 77, and this here is an adult collector channel where we talk G.I. Joe, mainly classified. Every now and then, we'll take a look at some other stuff that I am interested in as well. And today is one of those days where we're not taking a look at classified. We're going to take a look at the Marvel Legends Strange Tales Moon Knight. Now, I am a casual Moon Knight fan. I did not read the comics. I read the occasional comic. I read some of the team ups. My brother was the huge Moon Knight fan. My brother probably is one of the biggest Moon Knight fans you ever could have met in your life. So I was introduced to the character really early. Always loved the design, loved the lore, but I don't have a version of him open. I don't have a whole lot of Marvel Legends. I'm really picky and choosy when it comes to those. And I did want one of these guys to put on the shelf because he's awesome. So I don't know if this is a repaint or a reuse or a retool or a re whatever. I just know that I don't have one and this one looks really cool. So we're going to get him out and take a look at him. We're going to do that right now. Now, when you take him out of the box, get a look at how he comes packaged. That's how he is packed in there. Everything he comes with. So let's get all this stuff out. One piece of tape holding all that stuff in. One piece of tape. They do know how to do it. Oh, also, his cape is all the way through that hole right there, so you kind of got to squish it and pull him through. That was interesting. So let's go ahead and check out what he comes with here. This is the Build-A-Figure wave for Blackheart. So he does come with Blackheart's head. It looks pretty neat. I'm not going to build Blackheart, so set that off to the side. Does come with a couple punchy fists. These are solid white. They do have crescent moon Knight symbol there on the top of the hand. Does come with a op. Looks pretty good. It's pretty gummy, but I mean it's not awful, but yeah, you can definitely bend it around. And he does have his staff of Amit. It is very bendy, this thing. I don't even want to bend it too much, but it definitely moves quite a bit. So gonna have a fun time getting him to hold it with both hands and hold it straight. And then he does come with several of his moonerangs. is is that what they're called? I don't know, maybe his Moon Knight boomerangs, moonerangs. Somewhere a Batman fan's head just exploded. And he does come with three of these little bitty ones. They look like when you cut your fingernail. So if you ever lose one, it's disgusting. I don't think they store on him. These things are going to be hard to keep up with. But he does come with three of these little ones and one large one. And that's it. That's all he comes with. So go ahead and check him out here. Now, I love the look of this figure. As you can see, I grabbed a couple of other Marvel Legends. Got Leatherneck out just because that is Leatherneck with a bum knee. And he's just hanging out here on the table trying to be of some use. So I did grab Kingpin and Bushwhacker, who is threatening us with his flesh cannons. But we're not here to look at those guys. We're here to look at Moon Knight. So check out his gold wrist gauntlets. They have some couple of colors there. It's not just one color. So it's gold, and then these are almost like a bronze or a copper. And same thing on the belt. Let's have some pretty decent sculpt work there on those. Nothing super fancy. And then at the bottom of the feet, all gold around the shins, shin guards. The cape, The cape is going to be removable. I wasn't sure about that. We'll look at that in a minute. So, of course, he does have his crescent moon symbol there. Everything looks good. There might be a little bit of touch of paint slop right there, a smear. I can't tell. It might just be the shadow. But that is on nice and straight. Of course, that's, going to be a big concern with a Moon Knight figure. So he does move very well out of the package. Look at those, man. Look at those butterfly joints. That's how butterfly joints should be. Look at that. Nice. It's nice. It does have all your standard articulation, wrist swivel. Yep. Does have the swivel pegs in the wrist. You ought to be able to get this guy into some really good poses. Of course, they do not have drop down hips on these guys. Got an upper cut there on the thigh, and do have another one at the top of the boot. So you do have the boot cut there, and ankle rockers that only go front and back. But look at that. I mean, and they're solid. Like, they're not all flimsy. I wish G.I. Joe could get ankle rockers like this, but of course theirs also do swivel side to side. So talk about that another day. Cape is going to make him a little harder to pose with the added weight, but it don't really feel like this cape weighs all that much. Seems like it's really good. Now, it is not. It is plastic, vinyl, whatever. Of course, solid white. So it's not very posable. It's always going to be flowing out behind him. And you can definitely tell that the edges here are thinner plastic than the middle. So I wish it was a little more posable, but it is not. Let's get a good look at his face. Can see some detail in there, some sculpting in there. So it's not just like a solid black piece. You can actually see the wrinkle around his nose. And then his eyes look good. Of course, they're just solid white. So kind of suck if they mess those up, wouldn't it? So you can just pull this off without having to remove his head. He looks good without the cape, but he don't look right without the cape, but he does look good without it. Now, of course, this is not going to come off. His hood's not going to come off. Good sculpting there on the back of it. Those wrinkles. Does look nice. A character with, I'm not even going to go there. Hasbro, not going to do it. Does have a little bit of paint. Looks like missing maybe here on the shoulders on each side. Not really that big of a deal. I mean, the cape's going to cover that. And this is the black of the mask extending down onto the shoulders. So all in all, man, he's a really good looking figure. Let's see if we can get him to hold some of his moonerangs. So you can actually get that into a good throwing position where he's rearing back to toss that. Looks like it's going to stay in there good. Now let's check out one of these little ones. I'm a little leery about these little ones. He does have moon darts as well. So these fall right out. Like, they fall all the way through his hand. And it's going to be the same on this hand. So let's make sure these fists don't have, nope. I was going to say maybe these fists have a little bit of hole there. Oh, okay. So did not see that. So he does have these where they can pour it in here. I didn't realize that. That's cool. If they fit and they stay. So these can actually be used as claws. So they will. I spoke too soon, didn't I? Let's see. They will actually go in there. Okay, so you can have one, well, they went in there, let's put it that way. I don't think I trust these things to not go falling out. So if you can get them in there and you pose him and you got him where he's going to stand up okay, I can see these being pretty problematic trying to get them all in. maybe I'm not pushing them in far enough, but I don't want to break them either. And I've got giant sausage fingers too. So trying to get several of these in just does not work very well for me. And they look to be the same thing on each end, so I'm not doing one end wrong. So I'm not sure they're supposed to be that close together. So it seems like they should go in further for it to hold them in. So I already dropped the one. So they'll go in there, but I don't see me using these very much. I just don't care for that. So yeah, I can't even get them all to go in and stay. And it could just be because my fingers are so big. So there we go. Got all three of them in there. I like the way that looks, but they fall out way too easily for me to use that. So what is that? That is his left hand. See if we can get that in there real quick before I knock them out. Spoke too soon, didn't I? Man. They should have just sculpted these in on one of the fists and then made them removable, giving you some removable ones with it. Like this little. Alright. Well, I'm not even going to try because I'm going to wind up dropping them on the floor. So you can get them in there. You could probably take and put them in with tweezers under a magnifying glass or something. So they will go in, but I don't think they're going to stay. So maybe if you wanted to glue them or something. So these are removable. You can get these off. I didn't think those were going to come off, but you can slide those off if you want a more seamless look. Now this is a separate piece too, so I guess maybe there's a way if you pull the legs off, you could probably remove the belt section. I have no desire to even attempt to do that. I'm just saying maybe that's possible. So I'm going to put this hand back in and make sure I got these lined up. They will rotate around in there. Be careful putting the hand back in there when you do that. So let's check out Staff Amet. See how that goes in there. So that goes in pretty well. You know, like characters that have bow staffs. So you can actually get him into some pretty decent poses with this thing. And it's long enough. See, a lot of these bow style weapons are never long enough to do a lot with, but you can actually get some good movement on this one where he's ready to poke you with it, or he's already poked you with it, perhaps. He's coming to poke you, folks. So I do like that. Let's check out his arm. Back, I say. So he touches you with that, it's all over with. So he could throw this, he can use it as a club, whatever he needs to do with it. And this can also morph into a bunch of different stuff as well, but we didn't get any of that stuff with him. So that's it. Not a whole lot to him, but I like him. I'm a little bit disappointed that the claws don't really fit into the hands very well, but I mean, look how tiny those points are. So this is definitely getting ready to go in a bag, unless I do put them in with tweezers and glue them, but that's not really something I usually do. So yeah, there he is. Marvel Legends Strange Tales Moon Knight. Really good looking figure. You can get a picture of size of him here. Got old Wilson. I like to compare everything to Kingpin though, so just every Kingpin just dwarfs everybody. And let's check him out next to Bushwhacker. So of course Bushwhacker's a little bit taller, and I don't have Leatherneck in a standing. Don't have Leatherneck in a standing position, and his knees are way too brittle. So let's see, what else do I have handy? Here is a Mythic Legion Skeleton Builder 2.0. So there's a different variation of stuff, how he looks beside it. Some Monster Force Sleepwalker. So he's a little on the small side, but I mean, it's not all figures are created equal. So I do recommend going out and picking this guy up. If you're the slightest bit of a Moon Knight fan, or you just think he looks cool, he's going to look badass on the shelf. So I'm kind of working on a Marvel Legends shelf very slowly, because you talk about picking and choosing. I can't go down that rabbit hole just buying a few of those guys. So Moon Knight, what do you guys think? Did you pick him up? You gonna pick him up? He was the hardest to find in the wave. I've seen all the other ones a bunch of times, but I've only seen him at the specialty shop. But, all right, guys, I appreciate it. Probably try to get a couple pictures of him here and stick on at the end. I will see y'all next time on 3 Star Draw.